Getting to know you, Kate Middleton gets to grips with the public engagements that'll become a big part of her married life. Oh, yeah. Prince William keeps his wedding nerves in check by concentrating on work.
It's quite a daunting prospect, but very exciting, and I'm thoroughly looking forward to it, but there's still a lot of planning to be done in the last 4 weeks.
By special invitation, members of Europe's royal families look forward to the wedding in Westminster Abbey.
I think this is wonderful.
And royal chefs start preparations for a wedding breakfast to remember at Buckingham Palace. Welcome to Royal Wedding Report. I'm Mishal Hussain. The announcement that the second in line to the British throne was to marry his long-term girlfriend came last November. In the 5 months since, Kate Middleton has been gradually acclimatising to what she's described as the daunting prospect of joining the royal family. So, with the wedding of William and Kate fast approaching, how has she been adapting to her new role? This report from Daniela Relf contains flash photography.
It had been a relationship conducted largely in private until now. Kate Middleton, for the most part, protected from too much scrutiny. But this princess in waiting has emerged into the public glare. Anglesey in North Wales, their first official royal engagement together, and where their marital home will be. Prince William is based here with the Royal Air Force. The early signs were good. She could sing the national anthem in Welsh, appeared unfazed by the attention and at ease with those she had to meet. But be under no illusions. This transition from private to public life for Kate Middleton is being carefully managed by royal aides. This wedding, this couple, seen as vital to the future of the British monarchy.
This should be a win-win for the House of Windsor. They have a handsome heir to the throne, a beautiful bride, a sense of empathy for the couple. They have to get it right, and if they can't get this right, I think people will begin to ask, well, what's the point? This has got to be a celebration of Britain, it's got to be a projection of Britain.
A second public appearance was perfectly chosen and choreographed. A return to St Andrews University in Scotland, where their love story began. A visit filled with nostalgia and familiarity. Again, the public appeared to warm to the woman who will one day be Queen. A trip to Northern Ireland a few days later was a trickier proposition. A royal visit here can often be divisive, supported by loyalists, not so by nationalists. But with this couple, there was a cross-community curiosity. It's a case of so far so good, but it's early stages. The clamour for Kate is enormous, the media attention intense, and the market for photos of her thriving. Pictures of the bride-to-be pay.
I'd say think of a number, double it and add a zero. At the moment, the demand is so high for pictures of Kate in particular. Kate and William, of course, will sell too, but Kate especially, from the magazine market around the world. Women want to see Kate, what she looks like, what she's wearing on a day-to-day basis. And it is literally every country around the world. All of these magazines want pictures of Kate. They want new pictures every day.
I'm not an expert on it at all.
Once married, they'll not be thrust into a huge number of engagements. Public appearances, projects supported, will all be chosen with care. An overseas tour of Canada in July will be the most obvious test. But after her years of waiting, it looks as though royal duty and service may suit Kate Middleton. Daniela Relf, BBC News.
Well, the end of that report featured pictures of the couple that we'll be seeing a lot more of. Britain celebrates its royal weddings on its postage stamps. The post office has unveiled a set of special commemorative stamps to mark the occasion. These images of the couple will travel across the globe and become iconic. And of course, many people will collect them and preserve them in the hope they'll increase in value over the years. Well, the wedding's also celebrated with special coins, and the official coin to commemorate it is now in full production. This royal wedding coin was approved by both the Queen and Prince William. Our reporter Howell Griffith was one of the few allowed into the Mint in South Wales to see how the coin was made.
Normally when you plan your wedding, you just have to book a venue and remember to invite the guests. But for the marriage of William and Catherine, there's one extra thing on the to-do list, striking a special coin to commemorate the occasion. It's being made here at the Royal Mint in Llantrisant. So this is the design that's been chosen for the coin, and the sculptor designer is Mark Richards. Now, first of all, how did you come up with this?
The first thing I do is a lot of research, which means looking at photographs, film footage, and watching them together. I think was a really important thing to do. And then a design, there's an idea pops into my head, and then I try and just create a design that matches that idea.
So you didn't get to meet them, but what was it that you were trying to capture here?
I was trying to capture a sense of sort of friendship quality that they have.
And are you happy with the final product?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's really nice. There were a lot of, I spent a lot of time trying to get them sort of just far enough apart so it was looking as though you just caught a moment, so they didn't look as though they were going to bump into each other, but not so far apart that they look distant from each other.
That design now has to be turned into a real coin, and one of the people with that job is Richard. Now, you worked in the Mint for over 30 years. How does this coin compare to others?
It's very, very simple. It's just got the two portraits, very little intricate detail, and from our point of view, it makes production a lot easier.
Makes life simpler for you, but you've got your own individual tools. These are your personal things that you work on to actually make that cast.
Yes. Depending on the size detail, we'd use whichever tool is suitable, and we just start to work on the outside edge, or the letters, whichever are the most needed work.
And so you're tapping in the letters there?
Yeah, actually in the letters.
It's in this part of the plant that the final part of that process takes place, and I've had to put on a special pair of gloves even to handle one of these blanks. They come over to be struck in a machine like this. I'll just hand this over to Jeff, who's in charge of it. The coin is checked and then struck 4 times with the image before it's ready. That process takes about a minute, so let me cheat and show you one of the final versions. There we go, that's what it looks like. Now, the normal version will be on sale for £9.99. This is a silver coin on sale for just over £50. And if you really want, you can buy a platinum version that'll be on sale for over £5,000.
Whenever there's a royal wedding, there's inevitably speculation over who will attend. If you think of royalty in Europe, Sweden, Spain, or the Netherlands might come to mind. But how about Serbia? Well, the country, now a republic, still has a crown prince and princess from its days as a kingdom many decades ago, and they will be attending. Our Belgrade correspondent Mark Lowen went to meet Crown Prince Alexander II and Princess Catherine of Serbia.
This palace was commissioned by my grandfather, King Alexander of Yugoslavia, and it was finished in 1929.
My husband might have physically not been here, but mentally he was always with the people like his father was.
The dazzling opulence of Belgrade's royal palace, built for the then king of Serbs, Croats and Slovenes, soon renamed Yugoslavia. But when the Nazis invaded in 1941, the royal family left, taking exile in London.
I was born in London, in Claridge's Hotel, and Churchill was good enough to turn the suite into Yugoslav territory.
So it was declared Yugoslav soil for one day?
One day, yes. Amazing story. I was baptized at Westminster Abbey, and my godmother was today's Queen, Queen Elizabeth, and there was a whole retinue of kings and queens who were in exile at that moment.
With over 4 decades of communist rule in Yugoslavia after the war, the royals were barred from returning and stripped of their nationality. Crown Prince Alexander came back first in 1991 as Yugoslavia began to collapse into civil war, returning for good a decade later after the fall of Slobodan Milosevic.
Here we have some photos of my 50th birthday at Claridge's in London with Her Majesty the Queen. She came.
She was a good dance partner.
She's wonderful. She's absolutely wonderful.
With close ties to the British royal family, Alexander and his wife have been invited to the wedding of Prince William and Kate Middleton.
I believe that they're making the whole world happy with their wedding and their country happy. And I think this is wonderful. And I'm very proud to be part of this special day for this couple.
The Crown Prince believes today's Republic of Serbia should return to constitutional monarchy, with he and his wife as king and queen.
I believe that constitutional monarchy can be a binding point of unity, continuity and stability.
The royal family and this country share an extremely turbulent modern history, and it's difficult to know what the future holds for both. Serbia is on a gradually more stable path after the wars of the 20th century, but would it ever really embrace a constitutional monarchy run from this sumptuous palace?
I don't think Serbia needs monarchy. I think Republican system is much better.
I like kingdom.
Why do you like it?
I don't know, it's like fairy tale for me. I'm a little princess.
I think that these previous times when the king was here, they were much better, or maybe I'm nostalgic, I don't know.
And so heir to a kingdom that no longer exists, but this is a prince who believes that Serbia's royal past should be allowed to shine once more. Mark Lowen, BBC News, Belgrade.
Well, Prince William's admitted he's suffering from nerves ahead of his wedding to Kate Middleton, but says he's very excited by the prospect of the big day. With just 4 weeks to go, the Prince says there's still a lot of planning to do, although he's pleased that he managed to keep his stag party secret from the media. Here's another report from Daniela Relf, this time from Anglesey.
Here, he is simply Flight Lieutenant Wales.
It's clear, buckets on. Disney's all good. FS engaged.
No royal titles, no royal protocol, and perhaps an escape from the stress of a royal wedding.
And we are climbing.
This is the day job, here a training exercise on Holyhead Mountain. Prince William has now completed 6 months as a fully qualified search and rescue pilot. His real rescue missions range from a suspected heart attack on an oil rig to an injured walker on Snowdonia.
Prince William's work here on Anglesey has given him something pretty unusual by royal standards, a relatively normal life. The privacy afforded both him and Kate Middleton whilst living here is something they both valued and want to continue after the wedding.
North Wales will be home for the newlyweds, but as the big day looms, the nerves have well and truly set in.
I was telling everyone I did the rehearsals the other day and my knee started tapping quite nervously. So it's quite a daunting prospect, but very exciting, and I'm thoroughly looking forward to it. But there's still a lot of planning to be done in the last 4 weeks.
There was, though, just a touch of smugness about the very secret stag do.
It's quite good news always to Fox the media, but it was a military operation, and my brother and I are very proud of how it went.
Just because he's the future king, he's not been spared a bit of teasing since his engagement.
Whenever he has a cup of tea, it's always in a Kate and Will's mug. Whenever he washes up, we always throw him the Kate and Will's tea towel. And we've got the Kate and Will's embroidered pillow that we put on his bed. Yeah, and it's all light-hearted banter, and he loves it as well. It's great. He has a great time. And to be honest with you, he gives it back even as good as, if not better than we give it him.
But everyone will be on their best behaviour today, as Prince William's grandparents will be at the base. The Queen and Duke of Edinburgh will learn about the work their grandson says has left him feeling proud and privileged. Daniela Ralph, BBC News at RAF Valley on Anglesey.
Now, it's an essential part of every wedding, the food. For the chefs and waitresses in the Buckingham Palace kitchens, this will be the latest in a long line of very special meals being prepared. So just what does go into preparing a wedding feast quite literally fit for a future king? Nicholas Witchell has been for a look around the palace kitchens.
The kitchens of Buckingham Palace, well used to preparing food for big occasions, from private meals for the Queen to formal dinners for visiting heads of state. Every year, these kitchens serve up food for something like 50,000 guests. On the kitchen shelves are the pots and pans which the royal chefs have used to cook for kings and queens for generations.
Yeah, put them in that back fridge.
Most of the food they prepare in the palace kitchens is straightforward, based on the best of British produce. But much of it is delicate work, preparing canapes for the kind of reception that will be taking place here on the day of the royal wedding. For the Queen's chef and his team, the wedding reception is just one of the major events at the palace this year.
Whether it's for the visit of Mr. Obama or Duke of Edinburgh's 90th birthday, the royal wedding, they're all chance-in-a-lifetime events.
The 600 guests who've been invited to the wedding reception will gather in the palace's main staterooms, where they will mingle with the newly married couple, who will have come by carriage from the wedding service at Westminster Abbey. The wedding cake will be on display in the Long Picture Gallery, alongside some of the palace's art treasures. For the palace officials responsible for organising the day, it will be the culmination of months of planning.
We start planning generally for events as far out as 6 months. So there's an awful lot of detail to go into the planning of all events that we do at the palace, which will involve the event planning itself, the invitations, working out the menus, working out all of the details of the drinks.
But on the specifics of the day, the staff at Buckingham Palace, well used to being discreet, are saying very little.
We wouldn't really go into any of the specifics for the big day, but we always concentrate on showing off the best of British produce. So you can put your bets are safe on that.
This particular event, it's a very joyous occasion, and preparations are going extremely well.
1 month to go now to the royal wedding, and in the kitchens of Buckingham Palace, everything, it seems, is ready. Nicholas Witchell, BBC News.
And that's all from this Royal Wedding Report. Join us again at the same time next week. From me, Michelle Hussein, at Buckingham Palace. Goodbye for now.